Hello and welcome to the Direct Selling Success Podcast. I'm Anna Green and I'm here to share with you tips, tricks and training on network marketing done right. Thank you for listening. Hello, I am so excited today to welcome Lisa Williams here to the podcast. Lisa has been a guest before quite some time ago. It was probably about 3 years ago. It's quite a way.
Yeah, I think it was when you first started the podcast, maybe around that time.
Yeah, so 3 years ago in December, I started the podcast and we are 100th episode. Near
Amazing.
enough, which is exciting. Yeah, very exciting. So Lisa is known across the board as the vision board queen and has lots of experience in the direct sales network marketing industry. So I wanted to bring her on. Lisa, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Lisa Williams, and as Anna said, I am known as the Vision Board Queen. I help business women create the blueprints for their dreams and desires using the power of vision boards. I am also an empowerment coach, so I am a firewalk instructor, a glass walk instructor, arrow breaking and board breaking. And I also run a festival called Womanifest, and we also run other empowerment events as well. For example, we've got an awards ceremony. We've also got walking groups and lots of different events as well that we run to empower women and teen girls.
Wow. So this has come from when I first met you, what I would say, and I don't mean anything negative by this, a little online business, similar because I had a little online business at the time, 2019, 2020. We met through networking online back in the day.
Yeah.
And you've gone so far since then. That's amazing.
Yes,
all those things.
It's definitely been a journey. And obviously we've been in each other's journeys throughout I think we met back end of 2020, maybe just.
Yeah, possibly. It was in lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we were
about
coming
then.
towards the end of lockdown. Well, not the end of lockdown, but the end of that first year in 2020. So it was probably around the September, October time of 2020. So yeah, we've definitely been in each other's journeys throughout that time. But yeah, definitely had a small online business that I was promoting vision boards and telling anyone who'd listen to do a vision board.
Yeah, and we did some amazing collabs back in the day.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. But before that, you were a direct seller.
I was, yeah. So I left the direct selling industry January of 2020, funnily enough. I began in 2017 as a Younique representative. I absolutely loved the industry and I learned a hell of a lot from that industry. I learned what a personal development book was.
Well,
I didn't even know what one existed. And now I've written my own, which is really, I still get myself pinch me at that moment. So yeah, I honestly learned so much about myself. I learned to, obviously, about personal development. I learned to love myself. I learned to, be more positive, be more confident. And I learned so much within that direct selling industry. And if it wasn't for that, I would never have stepped into the opportunities that I have been given now, because it all begins with learning about you and learning about yourself. I would highly recommend picking up a personal development book to anybody. And it's that one industry that I have found that really promotes it, because in the normal world, people don't know what they are. They don't know they exist. They don't talk about it. They don't actively promote them. It is such a great industry to kind of, what I'd say is self-help yourself in a way. And you don't go into a job in Tesco's and they go, oh, here's a self-development book, go and learn about yourself and go and come back tomorrow and be about, go and do this for yourself so that you're feeling better tomorrow, then we can work on something.
No, you're right.
They say go and get on the checkouts and serve the people with a happy face.
Yeah. But I bet you didn't think when you started in Younique and direct selling world that was going to happen. I bet that's not the reason you came into the business.
It actually was the reason why I started.
Wow.
Because, well, obviously not because of the self-help. I started because I was watching someone who I used to work with online, and she oozed this confidence, and she was showing up with like self-love and confidence that I didn't have. And I didn't, at that point in my life, I had just gone through my second miscarriage. I was at my rock bottom. I was in such a low place. I hated myself. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror without hating the person I was looking back at. And I wanted that confidence. I wanted to be able to walk into a salon and not feel, you know, I was being judged or that people were looking at me. I wanted her confidence, and for her to show up online like that, I was like, I need a bit of that. I need to learn to love myself. So that's why I joined. I didn't join to sell. I didn't join for anything else. I just thought maybe this makeup might give me a bit of confidence. And honestly, that's why I joined.
And it did. I mean, look at you now.
Yeah. And one of the first things I actually said to my upline at the time was, I will never go live. You will never catch me going live. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And she just let me say it. And then obviously the more I did the personal development work, the more confident I felt. And obviously I did go live. I went live doing my makeup, which would have been the worst thing ever when I first started. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, unfortunately, my time within the company came to an end. And that wasn't because it just kind of felt right at the time. I didn't really, my passions changed, and
Yeah.
it wasn't, I still love the makeup now. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I still love the makeup and I still love what the company represents. But at that time, it just was right for me to step away. I was pregnant with my rainbow baby when I stepped away, and that's what my energy needed to go towards. And yeah, that's kind of how my journey unfolded within direct selling.
Yeah. And then led you to want to personally develop other people, I suppose.
Yeah, so obviously I had this passion, and obviously you get that within having a team that you want to help others. And I remember when I first stepped away, I felt really lost. I didn't really know what to do with myself. And I kind of just sat with it for a bit. And then I ended up going to an event called Womanifest. If anyone hasn't heard of it, some of you ladies might have. And I went to this event in the March of 2020, literally like just before like a week later, we were in lockdown. It was very like touch and go whether the event was going to go ahead. And I remember going, and it was the first event I'd ever gone to outside of my direct selling events, because prior to that, I'd never been to an event other than, you know, Younique events, and they were amazing. And obviously that's where your fire gets lit, you know, like, and that's where you kind of learn all this amazing stuff and you come away feeling so energized. And as I was going to this event in March, I just went with such an open mind of, I have no business at this point. You know, I didn't have a focus. I didn't have a direction. I didn't really know what I was going to do outside of the direct selling industry. And I just kind of went with an open mind to learn what I can, meet who I can, and just kind of be open to opportunities that came forward. So anyway, I went and absolutely loved it. And I walked away, and that's when the Vision Board Queen was born. That's when I stepped in, put that crown on, and that's when I started to show up online as the Vision Board Queen. And like you said, we went into lockdown. We had a little business in lockdown. I had a few people in my challenges, and you know, it kind of gave me that opportunity to grow my business whilst I was on maternity leave as well. So I wasn't working my day job, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and I still love it to this day.
Yeah. And that Womanifest journey that you had from that very beginning has led you now to take over that brand.
Yes, absolutely. So obviously I went to the first Womanifest, then obviously we couldn't have another one because of lockdown. And then the next Womanifest that they did, which was in 2022, I applied to speak, because obviously at that point my speaking journey had grown. And then the following year I did another speaking slot there, and then the year later I was put on the advisory board, so I was helping behind the scenes. And again, all these opportunities wouldn't have come about if I wasn't being visible and going to events and really being visible, you know, whether that be in a direct selling business or your businesses. It's the opportunities that come from being visible and showing up and being present, that you make these connections that then lead into other opportunities. So when the founder of Womanifest decided that she wanted to like step down, that's when I took over the reins of the festival. And we have now, so since then, we have now developed other events. So we now have a networking event once a year, which is our Christmas celebration, which Anna, you spoke at last Christmas.
Yep. Yeah, I did. Yep.
We also have the main festival. We did last year, we did an International Women's Day event. This year, we've brought on Womanifest Awards, which Anna, you are our headline sponsor for, which is really exciting.
Very.
And then we also, since January, we've been doing some wellbeing walks. So we did a morning hike in September. Next month, we've got a forest walk. So it's just getting people, building the community stronger behind the brand, so that we can obviously, you know, support them more rather than just be a one-trick pony and be a festival.
Yeah, and you're right when you're saying, you know, you need to be visible to create these opportunities. It is so true. If I hadn't have been visible online, I would never have met you.
No.
If I hadn't have been visible online, I couldn't have grown my business. I couldn't have formed the collaborations with other people, or got in front of the right audience, or been given opportunities to speak on stages and things like that. And by the sounds of it, it's the same for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, to me, if I don't show up, my bills don't get paid, you know, and that's the bottom line to it. So I don't have that luxury of having, you know, other income. I have to show up to represent my brand. And if I don't show up, I'm letting not only me down, but I'm also letting my clients down, because they rely on me to show up and lead the way for them. And I think, you know, even as a direct seller, your customers rely on you to show up, to show them how to use your products and services. And if you're not showing up, you're doing not only a disservice to yourself, but to them as well. So showing up and being visible was it was kind of put into my veins right from the very first product I decided to show, because that is, I'm showing up for them. And that really did give me the foundations to be that person now as well.
Yeah, and when you're running a team in direct sales, it's even more important, because if you're not showing up, you can't expect them to show up.
Yeah.
They follow you, they follow what you're doing in your actions, and the way you lead will help them lead in the future. So if you're showing up, they're going to do it too, because that's what it is. That's how you make it normal.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a ripple effect, isn't it? If you do one thing, then they'll do it as well. So then it's a ripples out to more people. And then the more people who are doing that, the bigger the impact.
Yeah, and I know you're the same as me, a big advocate for offline visibility as well as online.
Definitely. Online is amazing, don't get me wrong, okay, but you can't develop that stronger connection with somebody until you've really met them in person, I don't think. And I think that physical connection and the physical being in the room is such a powerful experience. Yes, sometimes it's not possible, and obviously people can really understand that sometimes it isn't possible for some people. But if you can make it work, whether that's stepping through that comfort zone, the more you do that, the more you're going to benefit from it, because it is so powerful being in that room. Like, I'm rubbish at remembering faces. I am absolutely, because on Facebook, you're just a little picture to me. That's it. So until I've actually met you, I will still not know who you are. I get stopped at events all the time and to say hi, like to people stopping me. And I have no idea who they are. And that's really, and I do say, I'm really sorry, but I'm not being rude, but I do not put faces to names unless I've met you. And that to me is really powerful, because then I know that person, I know who they are, and I'm going to remember them.
Yeah, and I really do think that's so important. Yeah, online's great, like you say, and yes, you can build connections, but it takes so long to connect with somebody online in that really powerful way. And yeah, you do forget who they are unless they really, really stand out. And to stand out within those millions and millions of people that are all vying for attention online is incredibly difficult, especially when you're in direct sales and you're representing a brand which could be the forefront of your social media. I wouldn't suggest you do that. But, you know, lots of people are taught that. But when you go into an in-person event, the magic really does happen because you are visible in front of a small number of people, or a much smaller number of people, then you
Yeah.
can really stand out as yourself, showing your personality. And I don't know, there's just something special, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And I also think with direct selling as well is you're not exclusively selling that product. You know,
No.
it's like I wasn't exclusively selling Younique, okay? And I wasn't exclusively the only person in the world to have that product or service. So I had to show up to stand out. You know, I had to be visible in order to get in front of more people. So I had to be the one who would put myself forward to, you know, to speak at events. I had to be the one who put myself forward, you know, to attend even just local networking events where there's like 10 to 15 people in the room. Then I was the one being visible compared to the other Younique rep who was just staying online and on social media, or who wasn't showing up every day. And I think, you know, even going down to the fact of going live, you know, rather than just posting, you're going to stand out more if you're doing the actions that you need to take to grow and be visible.
Yeah, visibility is key because you are so instantly easily forgotten.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the room, if you're not showing up online, if you disappear off their news feed or you're not in those networking spaces, people will not remember you. They just won't because you know you're not the center of their world. Other things come up, other
Yeah.
people show up, and you just out of sight, out of mind, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I know a lady who is a Tropic ambassador, and she is every local event, you will guarantee she is there and got a stall.
Yeah.
And there's an event that's like a it's like a soul kind of spiritual event that happens 3 or 4 times a year, and I can guarantee you she will be at that event next month. Okay. Before even going, I know she's there. So if people are going to that event regularly, which they do, people go, like the footfall of that event is really well attended. If people are going on a regular basis, they will not forget her.
Mm,
So
yeah.
if you are showing up like once here and there, then people will forget you. And you know, just being taking your stall and things to local events, you're gonna be remembered. And
Yeah.
it's really, really important, I think, to be visible.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And offline visibility, from my point of view, even though I'm not doing a direct sales company anymore, is super key. And it'll be the same for you in your Vision Board Queen business and for Womanifest. If you're not showing up online at other people's events, not just your own, you won't be connecting and collaborating and forming those relationships with those other people. I know from my point of view, if I go to events, like I went to the Womanifest event last summer, the festival, which was absolutely amazing. I did a workshop, but my business didn't come from the workshop. The business that I got and the collaborations I formed were within those circles, networking and talking to other people, having conversations, finding out about other people, and building on those connections I'd made at other events and building on the connections that I'd made online.
Yeah.
And that's where the magic happened.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is really important to remember that, you know, even if you do show up and do like a talk or a workshop at a local network meeting, don't always expect a return on investment straight away. These connections can take time. But if you show up once and then not seen again, because I've been to lots of events where I see speakers and I've never heard of them again. I don't see them. Like, where have they gone? Like, where have they disappeared to? You know, and that being consistent with that like return, you know, showing up all the time. It's like I'm speaking at an event tomorrow. I've also spoke at this event a year ago. It's a different location, but she knows I'm visible. She can rely on me. So she knows that I'm going to do a good talk tomorrow for her attendees, and she'll invite me back again. And it's the same, you know, it's exactly the same with, you know, stalls and stuff. If you're showing up, you know, and being a, you know, active participant, promoting the event, you know, being there, talking to other stall holders, getting involved with the event, then they're going to invite you back. you know, and that's what you want. You want to be the one that's there and keen and showing up, not just rocking up, having your store, go in, never heard of again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm just gonna say this, okay? So me and you, it's all right for us, isn't it, Lisa? We're really confident. We're great at
Oh,
talking to
yes.
people. Yeah, we
I'm
are.
actually not that confident. Like, I'm quite an introvert person.
I
I,
know, but you can hear it from the audience. You can just hear it even
yeah,
before it's happening. Oh, it's all right for them.
yeah.
They're talking on a podcast. They can get speaking gigs. They can stand up in front of people. I'd never be able to do that. If somebody isn't very confident
Yeah,
and feels quite self-conscious and maybe hasn't been to events, networking, festivals, offline stuff, even never done a stall before, how can they make that impact and be visible and remembered in those rooms?
that's a really, really good question. And I think the first thing is obviously confidence isn't something that we are born with. We do have to, I think, have to learn how to be more confident. And it doesn't come natural to a lot of people. I'm not a naturally confident person, and I'm definitely more of an introvert. I'd like to sit back and watch and then get involved. I'm not someone that's like, oh, in your face and like really out there and bold. But what I am is I'm consistent at showing up. Okay. So even though I'm not always the most extrovert person, I'm definitely not extrovert actually, I will still be consistent showing up introvertly in every space that I can. That wasn't something that came easy. The first time I went to a network meeting, oh my God, I was so nervous. I took a friend with me because I didn't want to go on my own. And again, like when I first did a stall, I didn't want to speak to people. I was so like shy and quiet. Again, speaking, again, the first time I did that, I took someone with me to hold my hand basically because I didn't want to do it on my own. So these things do get easier as time, the more you do it. But my first thing would be is to do a bit of personal development on self-conscious, on confidence, and really tapping into your own confidence, watching some YouTubes. There's a great thing, that 5 4 3 2 1 rule, which I can't remember her name. What's her
Mel
name?
Robbins.
That's the one.
Yeah, Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins teaches great technique there that you can use, and just finding techniques like that that's going to help you. And one of my things is, if we don't stretch that knicker elastic and step out of that comfort zone, then we're not really gonna make the changes that we want to make. Okay, so we do have to step out of the comfort zone. And there's actually a great film which is, I'm gonna forget the name now, aren't I? It's about being in your comfort zone and how it actually killed the guy.
Oh, wow.
And it's a really good film, and I really can't remember the name of it. It's about this guy he goes into a bit of depression, and then he basically eats for comfort, and he comfort eats, and it ends up killing him.
Wow.
And it's such a powerful film, and I'm going to kick myself because I can't remember the name of it. And it's got,
When you remember and it
yeah,
pops into your head, we'll stick it in the show notes.
yeah. And it's such a powerful film that shows just how, being in our comfort can actually damage us more than actually help us. So we sit in this comfort zone, we sit in our slippers, and we're comfy there, and we're happy there, and we feel safe. But that can actually really make more damage than actually what it's worth. So we do have to stretch that elastic a little bit. We do have to step out of the comfort zones too. Yeah, it might feel uncomfortable, but that isn't going to kill us. It isn't going to, it isn't going to damage us. It's going to help us. And we're also going to be able to help more people by doing that as well. So just try, and even if you do one small thing each day that steps out of your comfort zone, to build up to go into the event, to build up to doing the stall. And that one small thing, the more you do it, the easier that becomes.
Yeah, and I found that as well, because I was never the most confident person when I started in direct sales. I mean, I had massive anxiety when I started. I was terrified of going out and doing a party, and I was terrified of going and approaching people to book things and to ask them to buy and all those things. And it was terrifying, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what
Yeah.
I wanted and I knew how I was going to get it. And I knew things would be difficult. And I knew that I had to find a way of doing them that worked for me. And I did. And I built. And I remember going to my first big company conference and being absolutely terrified and not being able to step foot in the door. But I went and I did it. And I stepped foot in the door for 10 minutes and left. And then went back in half an hour later and gave it another go, and I kept going, and the next year I was talking on that stage. So it is just about doing the things and pushing that fear, doing the
Yeah.
things that scare you a little, and then going back and realizing that that bit's all right, and then doing the next thing that scares you a little will end you up on podcasts like we're doing now.
Yeah. It's like I
And
said, when I first started the direct selling, I said I'd never go live.
yeah,
And never mind speak on a stage or speak on a podcast, I'd never go live. It was just kind of like way out of my comfort zone. And the film is called The Whale. It's got
the
Brendan.
whale.
Yeah, it's got Brendan Fraser in it.
Oh, right, okay.
So
Brill. I'm going to
it's
write that down. I'll stick that in the show notes as well.
yes, it's a great film. It was recommended to me by somebody, by a coach of mine, and I watched it and I was like, oh my God, like it's so powerful. So I definitely recommend it.
Brilliant. So, where can people come and find you if they want to come and connect with you after listening to this?
So they can find me via Facebook. So I'm on Facebook as Lisa Williams. I also have a Facebook group called the Vision Board Lounge. I also have a book on Amazon called The Vision Board Blueprints. So they can come and find anything vision board related there. If they want to come and hear more about like the event side, then obviously they can come and follow us at Womanifest. The website is www.womanifest.co.uk. We are on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok for the festival. And then I also have another event which might be of interest, which is a personal development event, which is going to be in January. It's going to be based in Chester and it's called the Big Vision Ignited. And that's going to be all around personal development and helping you step closer to those vision board dreams and desires.
Oh, exciting, amazing. And if you can give everybody listening one tip, one big tip on anything to do with personal development, growing your business, what would it be?
Start today, don't put it off, because your personal development will absolutely change your life.
Yeah, and it really will. It really will. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for having me, Anna.